I'm back in studio with this is Dr. Angelika Christie. We say good afternoon and welcome back. So happy that you were able to make it today.
It's important enough. So
Yes.
happy to be here, and we had such a good time yesterday.
Yes, lots of information. In fact, I was so inspired yesterday that this morning I made a beautiful drink. It was apples, oranges, and then I put some, the mulberry? You have it, right?
Mulberry, yes.
So I used
It's
that
a little
in
bit
there.
tangy, but
Yes,
it's great.
it's very nice.
Yes, yes.
And it makes your juice, it gives it a beautiful color.
Yes, and it gives it a little bit of a twist,
Yes,
right?
and,
Some
and
zest.
then I added a banana. So I was sipping on that all
Well,
morning.
that you shouldn't have
I
done
should not
that.
have added the banana? Why?
Because
Please tell me.
that sweet and that tangy citrus fruit and banana is not a good
I
combination.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad I know
But you
now.
feel all right?
I feel great.
Good. Wow.
I feel beautiful.
Yes, you are beautiful.
Thank you. And that's what food does to you sometimes. It should make you feel good, shouldn't it?
Yes.
You
yes.
shouldn't feel stuffed.
Absolutely, yes.
And,
And everything that is kind of the rule, there are always exceptions, And so in the end, your body will tell you exactly.
Now
what
tell
it
me a little
is.
bit more about what I did wrong with the tangy and the sweet. What was wrong with
Well, wrong. I don't want to say it's wrong,
Say
but
if
there
it's
is
wrong, I want you to correct me.
Okay, all right.
That's fine.
Well, there are some guidelines of food combinations, right? So we already spoken yesterday about don't mix simple carbohydrates
Right.
with animal protein, right? Proteins can go with complex carbohydrates, with salads and with all kinds of vegetables,
Right.
even fruits. But when you mix carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates like starches, potato, rice, spaghetti, pasta, or anything, or any of those, and there are more, with proteins, you create, they're totally different digestive juices that have to come together, and they kind of interfere with each other, and so that's not good. And when it comes to fruits, there is a rule as well, and it is that you keep the sweet fruits together, and you keep the citrus fruit. Don't mix them with.
So
The only exception is berries. Berries goes with all of
So
them.
I shouldn't mix apples and oranges? Neither?
Not really.
Okay.
Not
I'm
really,
really
but you
excited.
can mix citrus with any berries.
Okay.
Just
All
the
right.
banana.
I could probably
The-
just do the citrus and the mulberry.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
That
that
could
would be good.
Mhm.
It's opposite. Banana is very sweet,
Oh, yes,
lots of
it
sugar
is.
in there,
Okay.
and starch,
Oh.
actually.
Now see, I didn't really think about a lot of starch in a banana. Okay. That's
So
interesting.
banana, I know, is kind of, it has become such a staple food, but I question how healthy a banana really is. I question that.
Okay.
I know it has potassium
Right.
and all of it, but then other things, other vegetables and leafy greens and legumes have potassium as well. So, it just see how
know-
you feel
Right.
not adding that
I get
banana.
that. And I know too, one of the things that you're talking about not mixing the starches with the protein.
Yeah.
You do feel better when you just have like meat and salad.
Yeah, meat and vegetables. That's
yes,
fine as
vegetables.
well.
Yeah, that's right.
Or if you have rice and vegetables,
Right.
or
That should be something. And you
yes,
could just some nights just have a meatless dinner.
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now today we're going to open up the phone lines 352-3984 and from the Family Islands 1-242-300-6233. And Dr. Christie has said too that she would give a free counseling session to anyone who calls with a phone with a question. So keep the numbers in mind. when we open the
Yes,
phone
not
lines.
everybody. I do this for three
People.
people.
Three people. Wow.
Three people.
Okay, that's
Yes.
a lot.
So whoever, and I think it would probably be best to text me.
Okay.
Because then
that's
I
a good
know.
idea.
Yes, text me, and
Okay.
whoever the first three that text me and wanted.
Oh.
But maybe we should wait a little bit. Maybe I have a question to ask, and so
Yes.
they give the answer
Mhm.
and text it to my phone,
Okay, so we'll give you a phone number.
which
later.
is 1-242-359-5550.
Okay, wonderful. But what we're going to do is hear from our sponsor, and then when we come back, we will continue with as much information that you possibly can. And today we're also talking about Dr. Safe. We started out yesterday, so just to kind of reiterate some of the things we said yesterday, Doctor, you can just go over that for us.
Yes, I asked you maybe to write down Dr. Safe, and
Mhm.
not all horizontally,
Right.
but actually every letter
Mhm.
put it one below the other, so vertically. Okay, so D,
Mhm.
capital D,
Right.
leave a little space. R, leave a little space under it,
Mhm.
under it. S, under it, and so on. A,
Right.
F, E,
Mhm.
safe.
Mhm.
And every letter stands for something that is really important for your health.
Right.
So yesterday we talked about D. We didn't get beyond the D.
Mhm.
And so most people say, oh, that must be diet, but it's not. It
Right.
was detox,
Okay,
right? So we
detox.
talked about how important
Mhm.
it is to detox your body. And
Okay.
we don't want to go back into this.
Mm-mm.
Just if you don't want to know it or want to find out, listen to that first episode.
Right, that's true,
Right.
Because we recorded it on Facebook yesterday too. Now, so after the detox, we were talking about ways that you can detox your body, and we were talking about the fasting as well.
The fasting, yes, and the intermittent fasting,
Mhm.
the fasting 5 days, lemonade diet or
Yes.
fast, and
Mhm.
cleanse, master cleanse, and just maybe one food
Mhm.
cleanse, broth. There are different
Would you
cleanses.
agree that initially when you're starting something, whether it's the fasting or even just trying to change your eating, the first 3 days are really the roughest?
Yes, the
And then-
first 3 days are the
Mhm.
roughest, but also you have to mentally prepare. You have to know why you want to do
Yes.
this. And you have to say, I am going to stick with that. You have to commit yourself to it. And then it would be a good idea to take out of your cupboards all of the junk, because willpower takes a lot of energy
Mhm.
to overcome
Mhm.
temptation.
You know, that really works. I remember when I was in college, and I told you with a rotation diet, it worked so well for me.
Yeah.
That was my real first attempt to try to lose weight, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
worked. And one of the things I did, since I was living by myself, and I did all the shopping, like you said, you just get rid of everything.
Yeah.
And there was one food that they allowed you to pick that you just liked, that you would just have it once a week. And
Okay.
mine was the Fusenglaser ice cream. I don't know if you know that ice cream. But mine was the Fusenglaser ice cream. And
Okay.
I would just buy the chocolate,
Okay.
a small
So
one.
that was
And I
one
would just-
forbidden but
Right.
allowed food.
And I
Okay.
would just eat it because mentally, like you said, mentally.
Yeah.
If you keep dreaming about something because it's totally forbidden, that
It
would
becomes bigger. It's gonna
Right.
try not to think about a pink elephant, right?
right.
You will.
So it's better to just have that one ice cream that I wanted.
Yeah.
And that was the food that I, usually picked. And
Yeah.
just get it over with, and then just continue.
Yes, you can do that, or you can just say, okay, I have one pick out day per week. I will be wonderful,
Mhm.
and I will be strict with myself,
Mhm.
and will do everything that's healthy for my
Right.
body from Monday through Saturday,
Right.
or whatever,
Yeah.
and
then you can have a big
and
Sunday
then
dinner.
and Sunday you just do whatever you want
Right.
to do. So then you get that reward, and
Right.
it's not too far away.
Right.
And then on Monday you probably feel, oh, my body is so overload and over,
Mhm.
heavy with toxins. I feel sluggish and all of that, and you
Right.
want to go back to your good
Mhm.
eating habits.
Because yesterday, I know we were talking a little bit too about how, the Bahamian diet is full of so much starch.
Yeah. And it's so, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I come from Germany, so of course, over there we eat kind of everything that grows in the fields and, you know, and all of that. But when you think about the Bahamas, I think about fish, seafood, beautiful tropical fruits and vegetables, and that's it. You know, I don't think about potatoes. Where would the potatoes come from? They're not natural.
You have a lot of potatoes in Germany, right?
Yes, we have potatoes in Germany. But, you know, so when you think about the region where people live, and if they eat off the land, of what is natural to them, they're healthy. Right. But we have supermarkets today, and it's all imported, and all of the junk, and unfortunately, you know, so out of convenience, a lot of people, most people, just go and shop. And then do you remember the TV dinners? And we don't have so many of the TV dinners anymore, but the freezers are full of, you know, prepared, frozen foods. And so it's sad, you know.
Now, what would be the next thing?
Okay, yes, let's continue. So that was detox, right? So the next letter is? R. So what do you think R is?
I would think recreation first off.
Recreation, yeah. So everybody, something comes up, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, you, the audience out there, what would you write down for R? Give you maybe 10 seconds. R, okay. What is it?
DR.
Rest.
Wow.
Rest.
Yes.
Rest is incredibly important, and it doesn't mean sleep. It means rest. Sleep is important too, but the rest is incredibly important. And especially today, where we are so anxious and so busy and overly burdened with our to-do lists, and we are always rushing, and we never get the things done we wanted to do. And so we can be under such stress. It's almost like a machine, you know, that's constantly running at high speed. You have to take that foot off the acceleration pedal, you know, and need to allow your body and your mind, your physical body and your mental and emotional body needs rest. One of the most beautiful things is, and of course, when you see children, they want to stop and they sit somewhere or do something that is easy, or they fall asleep. You see island people who just living in small settlements, and they're still living from going out fishing and harvesting and all of this, and they take a rest under the tree, if it's a palm tree or a sea grape tree, coconut tree. They take a rest because they feel that their body wants to rest. But we override that very, very often. We override it, and so
because we have so much to do.
We have too much to do, and what then happens is your adrenalines are overstressed, and they actually wear out. You know, so it's rest is really, really important. And even if you just remind yourself, today you can set an alarm or so every 2 hours, or just like every hour you should get up if you're in a sitting, have a sitting job or so, and just get up for a minute and stretch, walk around a little bit, you know, just get your body a little bit active. 1 minute. You can also just sit 1 minute, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and just allow everything, all of the stuff in your head, to just drain it out, kind of, or set it down. All of this stuff that your brain is filled up with, just let it drain out, set it down. 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
would you agree that a lot of people sleep, but they don't rest when they're
Oh
sleeping?
yes, yeah. There is a lot of people don't get what they need from their sleep.
Busy in the while they're
Busy
sleeping,
in
they're
the
busy.
yes, and you know something. What I also found,
Solving problems while they're sleeping.
which has totally shocked me, but now I kind of got used to it. How many people sleep with their TV on?
Ooh.
You know, I mean, any electronic device that's running while you're trying to rest or sleep, you're not resting or sleeping because subconsciously you're taking everything in.
See, now that's scary to me because I'm going to think someone's in the room. And I kind of wake up and hear people talking or something.
Yeah, you need rest. I mean, you
Yes.
can close your eyes and just come in that state of.
Now, I've
You
heard
know,
people
they-
say they can't sleep if the television is not on. They need the television to put
That's
them
a
to sleep.
total. That's a brain.
Yeah.
You tell yourself this, and then you do it often enough that then it becomes.
That's dysfunctional, isn't it?
Yeah, then it
Mhm.
becomes not only a habit, but you become addicted. You know,
Yeah.
like everything. You can train your body to need to have everything. We talked about food items yesterday.
Yes.
That if you do it and if you believe that's what you need, then yes, and then your body wants it and you need it,
Right.
even though you don't need it. And to break free from that takes a little bit, not only willpower, but you don't like it until you break through that habit.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so the next.
The next one is S.
S.
So Dr. S. Oh, Dr. Safe, but the first letter is S.
Yeah.
In safe. Now safe. S. I would think sleep.
We just talked about rest. No,
So
it's,
rest and sleep
do you
go
know what it
together.
is? Okay,
What is it?
10 seconds for
10
you guys
seconds.
out there. 10 seconds. What
Okay.
does S stand for?
All right, I said sleep and it's not.
It's not sleep.
Okay, it's not sleep.
And
Sleep.
it's not sex.
Ooh.
Somebody said.
Did someone text that? Is that it?
That's what I always hear.
Oh, okay.
It is sunshine.
Oh, sunshine.
Yes, sunshine.
Mhm.
Our bodies are really not designed to be inside under artificial light. We need natural light. Sunshine, we know about vitamin D, but only sunshine can really produce this under your skin. It protects you from cancer. And unfortunately, you know, it's amazing how people who live in the northern part, where the sun is only out, like think about Sweden and Norway. They have only about 3 months of sunshine. I mean, they have so much of darkness that the people there have a tremendous amount of depression.
Right.
Yeah. So we need it for our metabolism. We need it for vitamin D, which protects us, everything. I mean, we need vitamin D for everything, for our immune system, and protects us from cancer. And if your skin is light, it takes in a lot of sunlight, and if your skin is darker, there is already a certain blockage. Okay? That doesn't mean that darker skinned people don't get sunburned.
Right.
That's a different thing. You still need to protect yourself. And I do not recommend slapping on all of these sunscreen lotions that you have out there today. There's too many chemicals in there, because your skin is an organ. The biggest organ in your body, is your skin. And it breathes, it must breathe, and it takes in whatever you put on your skin, it gets inside of your body. So the best time to be out is, of course, in the morning up to about 11 o'clock, and then you should be under in the shade, you know, or inside. Of course, you know, the ancient people they had a tent or something like that, or they would be in the shade. And you see it with animals as well. You know,
Yes,
amid
they love
the high,
going under the tree. And
yes,
relaxing.
they're relaxing.
It's a dog's
Yes,
life.
the you know. I
Yeah.
tell you, it's great to have a little nap,
Mhm.
midday
Yes.
nap. You know.
You know, I was reading somewhere, there was a company that what they did was they had like a room and they had like cots kind of designed
Mhm.
where maybe like 2 or 3 people can go in at once if they wanted to, but they said they found that when people were at work and if they needed like on their break
Mhm.
to take a little nap,
Yeah.
you know, a 15-minute break and they go and take a little nap, they are more refreshed
Yeah.
and more energetic.
Actually, anything between some only need 3 minutes, but it shouldn't be more than 15 minutes because
Yes.
then you get
You're
too
getting
much.
into
You get into
Right.
deeper. It's then when you wake up, you're not. It takes you too long to be back.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So a power nap. That's how they call it, right?
Yes.
Is very refreshing.
But when you see you're taking a power nap and it turns into like hours of sleep, you're
That's
really
different.
tired, right?
Yeah, you wake up, you're tired, you're a little bit disoriented, and unless you're sick, you know,
Right, yes.
then you need that, and you may disturb your night rest
Right.
because then
That
you know your body gets a
Yes.
little bit mixed up.
Mhm.
But there is so much more to say about it. Every part of this, what we are talking about, going through Dr. Say,
Mhm.
there is so much more to say about it.
Okay.
So we can only scratch the surface.
Okay, so get that sunshine.
Yeah, so the sunshine, metabolism, vitamin D,
Mhm.
sunshine is really, really important. Do not be inside. Don't go from home to the office, back home, and don't go outside. Go outside, put your bare feet to the ground because there are beautiful energies that come through the earth, through your feet,
And it
into
just
your body.
feels good.
Yeah, it feels good because it is good.
In the grass, yes.
Yeah, grass
Yeah.
or close to the ocean, you know,
Yes,
the sand.
It feels
Yeah.
good. I think we all enjoy taking our shoes off.
Yeah.
And
What is
now,
next?
Dr. Safe, DRSA. A.
A.
Mm.
What is A?
What is it?
Audience, what is A? Write what you think A stands for.
Mm. A.
Cindy, what would
I
you
don't
say?
know. A. That's a hard one.
Is it?
Mm.
Okay. Want me to say it?
Is it apple? An apple
A
a
for
day?
apple, right? Apple a day.
Is it apple?
It's attitude.
Oh, attitude. Okay. That works.
Yeah, makes
Mhm.
sense?
It makes
Okay.
sense.
Because your attitude really decides how you experience things.
Yes.
Your attitude toward anything that happens to you makes you decide.
Mm-hmm.
Your attitude is not something you don't have control over.
Yes.
Your attitude is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't make the best choice? There are some people who feel that they can't help themselves. They are just triggered by something. And if
And they
it's
boast
negative.
And they boast about being like triggered, meaning that they're just always set to just tell you off or straighten you out or deal with you.
Yes.
Why?
It's a limitation. It's
toxic.
it's a safety net as well. You know, because if you keep the same attitude toward things, then you don't risk exposing yourself to something that you haven't been exposed to before or felt before.
Okay.
If you do the same, if you have a certain attitude and it gets triggered, and here it is, it comes out again. You may not like it, but again, it can be an addiction that you have toward a certain subject. Somebody, for example, somebody tells you, I love your outfit or your hair, and you immediately say, oh no, this is old, or no, I look horrible also. What kind of attitude is that, Why not say, oh, thank you,
Yes.
and just take it in and make it so?
Yes.
Because whatever attitude you have, you create your own reality with that attitude.
And why would you destroy a beautiful comment
Yes.
with a negative comment? Someone
Yes.
says something beautiful to you,
Yeah.
and you give them something negative back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
And
not
you
nice.
also give yourself something negative back. So if you treat yourself like your best friend, because you cannot get away from yourself, right? I mean, you take yourself with you. You cannot say, okay, I had enough of you, now I'm going to leave you. You and yourself, you are connected until the last breath. And so how would you think if yourself that you always talk to internally, and you always say something negative or have some judgments and negative thoughts about it, if that would be your best friend, how good would your relationship be?
Right. Yes.
It would be awful, right?
Yes, it would be like not your best friend.
Right. So
you would be your best friend.
You have to be if you are not your best friend.
Now that is
I mean,
something to think about.
Isn't that something to think about?
Yeah.
Because that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So you have a choice, and sometimes we get triggered and in a negative way, but then you can stop. You can teach yourself to stop that negative thought. Take a deep breath, say cancel, 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 and replace it with a positive one.
You're giving me something to think about. I'll have to have a talk with myself later today.
Yes, have a talk with yourself. We all need those
About
talks
this
with
best
ourselves.
friend thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is very interesting. I like that, and I think even with the sunshine and the attitude, normally you get up and it's a beautiful day and it makes you feel good, and
Yeah.
you say this is a beautiful day, and so you're energized.
Yes.
And you're excited about the possibilities.
Yes.
That the day is going to bring.
Yes.
And all of this is related to your health.
All of it is related to your health, because your attitude, what you feel, your emotions create the chemistry within your body. They
Do you
create
think-
endorphins, or they create
Right.
stress.
Do you think a lot of people miss all of this that we're talking about, like with Dr. Safe, meaning that most people just think when you're talking about your health or your diet, it has to just to do with food and whether or not you're exercising.
Yes.
But all of this plays a very important
Yes.
role.
Yes, because it is, I know, it's kind of, I need to exercise. And so you see a lot of people walking and doing all kinds of exercises, or even change their diet to a better diet.
But they're still
But now,
grumpy.
if they sit there and eat
Yeah.
and they have a negativity
Yeah.
within them, that good food
Yeah.
turns to poison. It is not helping you.
It's like, why are you looking better, working on looking better physically, but internally,
Yeah.
inside,
Yeah.
the real you,
Right.
it's just becoming like an awful, grumpy person.
Yes, and we talked a little bit about that yesterday when we talked about plastic surgery and or enhancements. All of the injectables and all of
Right.
that you can create all kinds of outside improvements. But what if your internal attitude, if you feel that if that is not in alignment, let's put it this way, there's so much to say about that, but if you are in disharmony between your outer and your inner, you're in pain, you're in stress. Not good. Okay.
You need to be happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dr. Safe, DRSA, Leonard F.
Yeah. What is F?
I would say food.
And there you are right.
Okay.
Yay!
Oh,
Bravo!
Wonderful. Okay, so
Yes.
food.
So food. It's not diet. It is food.
Food.
And so the question is, what is food? Food is everything that God, that the earth brings forth,
Yes.
that God has created for us and all of creation to feed on, to be healthy, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we humans, with our technologies, came to a point where we said, okay, we want to make money with it. We want to give it a shelf life. We want to we don't want it to spoil.
To make a lot of it.
So and all of the natural foods have, not all of them, of course, but so much has been. I would say it has been
Altered?
not only altered, but I'm looking for a word, and of course I'm German, so I know the German word, but I'm not. It's almost like if you rape. It has been almost raped.
Okay.
Is that a word
The
you
food
can
has been violated.
has violated?
Violated.
Yes.
Okay, the food has been violated.
Thank you,
Okay.
Cindy. Okay, yes, there is a violation of the natural foods that our bodies were designed to have, and so the more we stray away from natural foods, the more our bodies have to work to try to keep those toxins that they create in our bodies away from the most important parts of it, which are our organs, right?
Okay.
So that's when they get stored in fat. And you see all of the unnatural foods. When you go into a supermarket, if you stay on the outside perimeters, you'll find all of the fresh stuff, right? Don't go into the inner aisles. That's where all of the shelf food is, because it doesn't need refrigeration. It has almost unlimited shelf life. So that's not food. That's stuff labeled as food. Okay. So yes, have fresh food. Your food choices, and then of course there are many. So much to say about that. We don't have time here about what foods are good for you, and that totally depends on your body type, what your ancestors used to eat. There is a way of, when you have been born in a certain area, then and your ancestors ate a particular food over and over again, your whole digestive system is probably, nothing is 100%, is probably designed to thrive on that food. Okay?
And yesterday we were also talking about how a lot of people tend to think that good food is expensive, but it's your mindset in terms of, I mean, you want to eat to enjoy, but we shouldn't, it's almost like there's this attitude that I have to stuff myself with a lot of food to be satisfied, and you don't.
No.
So you probably don't need as much food as you really think you do.
No, you don't. And you know how you know? If you put a smaller portion, or just instead of having that big dinner plate, have a medium-sized plate. And I cannot believe when I see those platters that they have in the United States at you know, some of these big, like Cheesecake Factory and, you know, all of these outlets. I said, oh my God, that's for a whole family. And one person is just gorging it, and of course then takes the leftover. It's terrible. Makes me sick. But, you know, and eat slowly. Because your brain tells you when you think it's enough, and it always wants more, but your stomach actually has enough much before your brain says it's enough. It takes about 15 minutes for your brain to catch up with your stomach.
I was telling you yesterday after the show how when I went on that rotation diet, like that was my first time really measuring my food, and it was so different.
Yeah, the portion fits in the palm of your hand.
Because they were telling you to have a cup of cereal, and before I would just put the cereal box in front of me. And
then it always depends on what kind.
Eating until you're like, okay, I've had enough. I'm really stuffed. But that's not the way you do it. And
no.
I was able, when I did it the first time, it was amazing to me because I felt like I am going to definitely be hungry like in another hour. But after measuring the cereal, and I think I had some skim milk with it and some bananas, a banana or something, that was it. And I was fine.
Now, the other thing is, and thank you for, because it reminded me, fat is one of the most important food groups that we need. We need fat. And I mean, the grotesque thing is that in the United States, they took the fat out and added more sugar. It makes no sense at all. But now, because of the keto diet and so there is a return to the paleo, all of these more ancient and the way of eating that makes sense. Our brain needs fat.
Yes.
You cannot make hormones without fat. We need cholesterol to make hormones.
Okay.
So this whole craze of getting your cholesterol down below 100 or so, it's crazy. I believe there are more people who die because of low cholesterol than high cholesterol. And I know that a lot of people will disagree with that, and I'm not a medical doctor, so this is my research, my study, and my belief.
Yes, okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So there are good fats and bad fats. The thing is with the bad fat, it's not because it's animal fat. Animal fat is good as well. It's only those farmed animals that are filled with antibiotics and growth hormones and all of this, and or graze or are fed unnatural food. Like, for example, a cow would graze, right? So if you feed a cow grains, corn and all of this, the cow gets sick because that's not the natural food. So then they need to put antibiotics in it and and all of this. And what now happens is that just like with us, all of the toxins, all of that stuff gets deposited into the fat.
So the cow should just be eating that green grass.
That's it.
It's just growing, eating it, and it's
That's
just,
right. Grass-fed,
yes.
now they say grass-fed butter, grass-fed whatever beef.
Right.
And that beef, if it has fat, if it's grass-fed, if it is no toxins in it, is very healthy.
Okay. And that sounds like it'll be juicy too.
Yeah. And so the paleo, the keto diet is really 75-80% fat.
Oh.
And 20 or less % of proteins and only 5% of simple carbohydrates.
And a little later on in the show, we're going to talk about the keto diet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, anything else you want to say about food before we
No,
move
that's
on? Okay.
there is a lot
So
to say about it,
E.
but E.
Safe.
Oh, that's the last
Safe
one,
food,
right?
Yes.
Exercise. Oh,
Exercise.
yeah.
Exercise.
Sorry, I wanted to let you.
Okay.
Exercise, yes. Exercise is really, really important. And again, so many misconceptions about
I
exercise.
think exercise is overrated.
Well,
When I say overrated, like we make a big deal out of it, and so that's why in our minds it's like this big, enormous chore, this thing that we have to do that we don't want to do.
yeah. But again, if you think back of what our bodies were meant to be, what did our ancestors do 1,000 years ago or a couple of 100 years ago? They didn't need any machines, right? They didn't have to push themselves to exercise. They were busy all day.
Yes.
They were not sitting and they were not lying down. Their bodies were busy. And then the hunters, they needed to be able to take off and run because they were chased by wild animals, or they had to chase an animal to kill it, right? So our bodies are built to be in motion more or less all the time, except when we need to rest, but not just hang out and sit on the sofa and be bored and watch TV and drive. All of that is totally unnatural. And but if our bodies needs to be in movement, and then it needs short and high intensity exercise.
I remember this guy told me once, he said he went to the doctor and he didn't get it. His report was not so good. And the doctor told him, he said, look, you have to exercise, you must walk. So I'm recommending that you walk at least 45 minutes to an hour every day. And he was telling him, you don't have to walk fast, just do it. He said the first week, his walking was just so disturbed because just walking.
Felt
People are
unnatural,
not, no,
right?
No, people were not accustomed to seeing him walking, so they're thinking he needed a ride. So as he's walking, every few minutes, someone's stopping. You need a ride.
That happened to me, you know, coming from Germany, and of course also if you come from any big city, from anywhere, you walk a lot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And here, and we don't have, we have those little jiffy buses, but I remember when in the beginning, I used to walk everywhere. For example, when I had Precious Kids, from Precious Kids, my store, my children's store, to the post office was about a 20-minute walk.
Okay.
And if I would walk
Where was
this,
Precious Kids then?
that was at Churchill Square.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good little walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then at the Region Center later on, then it was very, very short.
Okay.
You know, then it wasn't all that much. But and I remember how many cars would stop and they said, if I need a ride, if I'm okay, is everything good? Because everybody drives, even for a 5 or 10 minute walk. People drive, you know. So, so our bodies are not meant to do that. Our bodies are very, very sensitive to what we do.
Yes.
And if you sit around and you don't move, your body believes you're sick, and it slows down your metabolism because it reserves your energy, and it reserves so that you don't use up all the food. You see, the body cannot see you from the outside. It can only go by its natural intelligence that was designed to react to certain behaviors that you have. So when you sit and you don't move a lot, you're either hibernating, and that means, you know, your metabolism slows down and you reserve food, energy, or you're sick, and it's the same thing.
And you hear people talk about like their bones start cracking, and they have these little aches, and then they come to find out that they just need to exercise. It's because you're not exercising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moving. I don't even say it's called exercise, but your body is made to move. And as you get older, it becomes even more important.
Yes.
Because too many people, when they get older, 60 and after, they say, well, you know, now I slow down, I sit more, I rest more because that's appropriate. No, it's not.
Yes.
It's not. You can be 80 and you're agile and walk around. And the most important part, to keep your brain sharp, to prevent Alzheimer's and all of these things, is part of it. It's no guarantee, but part of it is you need to have your muscles built. You still need muscle mass, and it goes down anyway, about at least 1 or 2% sometimes, depending on if you're male or female, per year. So you need to build muscle, which means that when you get older, it is even more important to build muscle. Just walking doesn't do that necessarily. Walking is not really an exercise. Walking is something that your body does natural. Exercise means high intensity, where your heart rate goes up, where you break out in a sweat. And so your heart can go back to the resting state.
Right.
And then you can, just like if you are chased or if you are chasing somebody, you need to be able to take off. Your adrenaline kicks in, and then you get all of the energy goes into your muscles so that you are fast, you know, that you can escape or run after something. Or and we need this today, because if you today we don't need to run from animals, wild animals anymore. Well, sometimes you can have a dog that chases you, and it's good to run. But you can get a heart attack, right? And if your heart does not know how to recover because you haven't challenged it, then the chance that you die from a heart attack is much, much higher. So heart viability is very, very important, and you can only train this not with jogging for an hour.
You really highlighted
Jogging for an hour
something.
is not good for your body.
It's
And
not.
it is not good for your body to do something in the same with the same speed. It's almost when you have a car, right? You have a little car and you're driving it with the same kind of medium slow speed all the time. It gets kind of, the motor gets used to that. Even the motor gets used to
Yes.
that. And if you put the pedal down and you want to overtake or go at high speed, your car, your motor may catch fire.
It's never done that before.
So how do you expect your heart, your body to function under stress, function
Yes.
under extreme situations? You can only train it, and the training is short and intense exercises. I used to run, I did 2 marathons, 2 New York marathons, right? But before that, I did this when I was 40 and 42. But before that, I was a fast runner, road running, but a mile, 5 miles.
You were an athlete?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But what I do today is I walk for my inspiration. I walk on the beach. That's where I get my soul, my soul and brain dump. And I usually walk with my voice recorder, so I can record the wonderful input and the thoughts and ideas that I get. But that's not exercise. This is it's almost like a walking meditation.
Okay, relaxing.
Yeah. My heart exercise is 5 minutes, either 5 minutes 3 times a day, where I get my heart rate up high, or 4 minutes. I can do just 4 minutes.
5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That sounds like my kind of exercise.
High intensity. Get your heart rate, and of course it's great if you have a watch
So
where
are
you
you
can
running?
see your heart rate.
Did you do that?
You know, I go up to 150 something beats, per minute, and then I recover, and
What do you
then
do?
I bring it up again, and I do this 3 or 4 times. Or I do it all in one for 4 minutes, high.
Are you
But
running?
I can run. I do this inside. I do this in my office.
Okay.
I do squats. I do burpees. I do running on the spot, jumping jacks. All of that brings up your heart rate. And you know what happens? Your metabolism shoots high because it's only for a short period of time.
Yes,
So
I say the
your
burst
metabolism is high now for the rest of the day.
Oh.
And this is also how you can, there's so many ninja strategies that I would like to share, and we don't have the time for that. But if you do, even if you do this half an hour before a meal, you would ramp up your metabolism, and then the food that you eat would be not stored as fat, but would be used to replenish that energy.
Exercise also does something to your appetite, because I find it, at least for me, when I'm working out or exercising, like food is not that, I'm not as like interested in just eating a lot anymore. Your mind, everything like alters. There's a change, because I even remember there was a time when I had to almost like force myself to eat, because
You are too
wasn't
busy,
hungry.
always
Yes, and I
moving.
wasn't so hungry anymore like that. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about food and what I'm going to eat later on.
Because when you run around, when you're active, your body uses the fat, either the fat reserves or the sugar
'Cause I
reserves
was
in
really
your
just
body.
eating for the energy
Yeah,
to eat and for health.
yeah, and eating, and when you're exercising, which means in ancient times you are busy chasing an animal,
Yeah.
or you're busy with a task. That food is not in your mind to sit down. Food is something to sit down and enjoy and replenish your body.
Right.
But it is not exercise. And now I have to have my super drink before or after exercise. No, it's all in your mind.
Yes.
Or
making food
it's
a hobby.
and it's marketing,
Right.
actually. It's marketing. That's what they want you to believe, so they can sell more of the power protein shakes and, all the stuff, the bars, the power bars. And no, you don't need any of that.
Okay. All right, what we're going to do, it's 38 minutes past. We're going to take another break, and when we come back,
Okay.
we will continue with more with Dr. Christie. Now, we wanted someone to call, or to text you rather. The phone
Yes.
number is 359-5550.
Yeah.
And you would get a free counseling coaching session.
Yeah, half an hour
Right.
for the first three people.
The first 3 people, if you text her on the phone and just, I don't know, Dr. Safe, type Dr. Safe or something. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you can type the word Dr. Safe.
Yes.
And she'll, the first 3 people to text her once again. Like she was talking about Dr. Safe, detox, rest, sunshine, attitude, food, and exercise. And that's a good way to remember it, Dr. Safe. These are some of the things that we need to be doing. And once again, if you'd like a free coaching session with Dr. Christie, 359-5550. And if you text that number, she'll be happy to accommodate you, and she'll let you know if you're one of the winners today in our show. So like I said, 359-5550. All you need to do is just text Dr. Safe. Okay?
Now,
Go ahead.
what is if somebody from outside of Freeport, the
Bahamas?
Bahamas, they
I don't
need
know.
to do 242, right?
Right, 242, right. Okay. So you'll fly somewhere to coach someone? Or they can do it on the
Yes,
phone?
of course.
You would?
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
It will be on the phone anyway,
Oh, it'll be
Yes.
on the phone. Okay,
Mhm.
that's wonderful.
or online.
Mhm,
Today
yes.
you have.
Okay, so if you're away, you can text her as well. Once again, it's 359-5550. Now, a few more minutes to wrap up. What would be some of your closing comments for us this afternoon?
Closing comments.
Mhm.
When what we spoken about here at Dr. Safe is really something that is pretty comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
Each of those 6 acronyms, that
Yes.
starts Dr. Safe,
Dr. Safe.
the detox and the rest,
Mhm.
the sunshine,
Yes.
the attitude,
Food.
the food and the
Mhm.
exercise
Mhm.
spans everything that you really need to be aware of and take into consideration to create a healthy lifestyle.
Mhm.
And there is so much to say about each
Yes.
part of that. And
Mhm.
everybody is different. We are not all copycats
Right.
copycats of each other.
Mhm.
Our bodies are different. So to honor your body means to listen to your body. But we are also contaminated with ideas,
Mhm.
with ideas from marketing companies, ideas of people that we believe should know, could teach us something. Never, ever believe everything that you hear. Not even from me. You have to take it into yourself first, and then see how it sounds. How does it feel in your gut? And then ask yourself some questions. For example, if there is something that you believe that is contrary to what we talked about, you say, oh no, but I believe this. Then ask yourself, why do I believe that?
Mhm.
You have to become inquisitive about why do you believe this? Who told me so? By whose authority do I believe that?
Mhm.
Is it really, really true?
Yes.
Is there another possibility?
Mhm.
Because, and that's what really coaching is all about. It take somebody to find their own answers.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you. You are going to find it. I help you to find what it is that is right for you. And of course, with my experience and with my, teaching and not just personal experience, but all of.
Go ahead, sorry.
But all of the training that I got, 30 years of training, yes, I know a lot. And yet it is not, you don't want to do everything I tell you, and I don't want to tell you what to do. We want to find out what is right for you.
Yes.
And I may find the blind spot, things that you missed, that you didn't see, or that you had a false belief about, or limiting beliefs about, because so many of us don't really have the greatest opinion about ourselves. They're always criticizing ourselves.
And it's
the
because
most.
People have criticized us.
Yes.
And we have believed the lies.
We believe the lies. And so I am the one really who says, because I am not in your history, so I am peeling the onion. I'm uncovering the real you, the true you. We are taking away all of the layers of limiting and false beliefs.
Now we just did something that makes me want to just start another show.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, right, like what you just said, and how we were talking earlier about your attitude.
Yeah.
That you can get dressed up, and you can you could be like planning it up for an outing or for an occasion.
Yeah.
And you could be like looking for an outfit, thinking about your hairstyle, thinking about what you want to do, your shoes and everything. And you're dressed nicely, and you look beautiful, and you're happy. You think you are like, wow. You go out there, and maybe someone just jealous, says something negative to you, and it would it takes everything away.
It takes your breath away.
The months of
planning.
It deflates you.
Yeah.
So we have to stop and not allow people to deflate.
Yeah. Yes.
Our lives.
And something it is. I know it from speakers. I speak in different countries in the States and in Canada, and I'm a speaker. And it's so crazy. And all the speakers have that experience. We want to be loved, right? We all want to be loved. And if you have a crowd of 200 people, and there are just maybe 2 or 3 of them that sit like that, and they look at you as if, whatever.
That's who you that's who you concentrate on, right?
That's what affects you the most. And as a speaker, you need to let that go.
The two little spoiled
but these are the things, audience. Right? But the negativity is what sticks with you, and that's a big issue that I would love
to deal with.
Yes, I would love to talk to you about it. Absolutely, because it creates stress and stress hormones and acid in your body and inflammation and cancer and all of these diseases.
Yes. We say good afternoon to Willard Delancey in Florida and also to Vernon Moxie in Florida. Both of them are tuning in on Facebook with us this afternoon.
Okay,
so we
wonderful.
Appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
And all of you who've tuned in yesterday and today as well with Dr. Angelika Christie. And so remember, the phone number, you can still text her after the show if you didn't get to call, 359-550.
No, 555.
5550, yes.
Yes.
That's 1242-359-5550. And today and yesterday we were talking about radiant health. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I've learned so much.
My passion to share
and
this.
I have to say, when I put on my outfit, if you don't like it, that's your problem.
Yes.
Because I think I look good.
Right. I feel good. And,
I feel good.
And don't let anybody disturb your peace or your happiness.
And you know
your happiness is yours.
Yes. And you know something I'm thinking? I think everyone has had an experience with a child, whether it's a sibling or your own child or just a little person. You know, you see little children and they have like a particular shoe or pants or outfit they want to put on. The adult knows it doesn't look appropriate, it doesn't look right, but they don't care. They want to put on those tennis. They want to put on that little pair of pants or shorts or jacket. And you know, you're probably laughing and saying, oh my gosh, he wants to wear this. But guess what? It makes him happy.
Yeah.
He could care less about what you're thinking and about what everybody else thinks.
Right.
Because he has his self-confidence, and that is what we lack.
Self-confidence and creativity.
Yes.
This is like, you know, if a child paints a hand with 6 fingers and say, oh, no, 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 no. Why not? That's how he sees it right now, or she sees it. Let the child be creative.
Yes,
Creativity
we really,
is one of our biggest gifts, and too many believe that they are not creative. All of us are creative.
Yes, and we really have to get rid of the negativity in our lives and negative people.
Yeah. Can we do another show about negativity or how to?
We can do that. We can do that. Probably next week we can plan that one. Yes, I'd love to have you back on.
Okay.
This has been a wonderful,
wonderful journey.
Even the idea that what came out of the doctor's safe.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, really and truly, the negative is so much negative in our lives, and we just keep piling it on. But we need to know how to unload and get rid of it.
Yes.
And not accept when people tell us negative
shake
stuff.
loose, you know. And sometimes it's also good to just get up and shake loose. Shake all of this if you have these negative thoughts. Shake them, actually shake them loose.
Negative to you,
Yeah.
I'm going to be bold now, and I'm going to say, I really don't care.
Yeah, yes.
I really don't care. I'm happy. Yes. I'm in a happy place right now.
You choose, you know, it's your choice.
I don't care.
You choose your
and I'll
emotion.
scoop it back on them because it doesn't belong to me.
I sometimes said you can almost put a mirror around you. You know, the moment I am in the company of negative people, I almost put a mirror around me. So whatever they send out goes back to them, cannot penetrate, cannot come into me.
Get rid of the negative people in your life and be healthy.
Yes.
Keep it locked right where it's at. It's now 51 minutes past 2. I'm Cindy Russell. Thank you ever so much, Dr. Angelika Christie.
Thank you to the audience. And please ask me a million quick questions.
Yes.
That's my passion, and I would love to help.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.